Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube? D546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. Alright, so NBC Sports, they dropped the list. I thought this was a premium list, but apparently it is very public. And it's just more disrespect. Joe Judge was ranked 23rd in the entire NFL for how good of a head coach he is. Now, mind you, this doesn't take into account all of the new head coaches. So it's even worse than you thought it was in the beginning because he's ranked 23rd out of 25. So who could possibly be worse than the Giants head coach, Joe Judge? Who could possibly be worse? I will tell you that Zach Taylor of the Bengals, who's 6-25 so far, who's on his way out of the door, and Vic Fangio, who's on his way out of the door. Those are the two quarterbacks that are below Joe Judge. Those are the two quarterbacks that are below him. Yes, he went 6-10 last year. We competed in every single game. Every single game besides that 49ers game, the Giants were in it. And we weren't in it because we were some great team. It was because our coaching staff was so well assembled. And the players were so motivated every single time we stepped out there. But like I said, with the exception of that one game, I don't know what happened, but for that one game, we didn't step out there and really compete. But the rest of those times, we were in every single game. Every single game we were in. And that's because of the coaching. Let's keep it real. It was because of the coaching. When you look at who's ranked right over him, John Gruden is at 22. Cliff Kingsbury's at 21. Mike McCarthy's at 20. Matt Rule is at 19. Mind you, Teddy Bridgewater came out yesterday and said that Matt Rule didn't even run through red zone and 2-minute drills. That's directly related to coaching. Guess who was the worst in the red zone and the worst in 2-minute drills this past year? Oh, guess what? The Carolina Panthers. That is a direct result of incompetence at the coaching position. Now, do I think that Matt Rule is going to be a horrible coach? I'm not sure yet. I don't think so. But he needs to start, running some red zone stuff in practice because they need to practice it because they were horrible last year. But these coaches are being ranked over Joe Judge when literally the reason that the Giants were in those games was because of the coaching staff. Now, Jason Garrett, maybe you dock Joe Judge because Jason Garrett's on his coaching staff. Now, I don't think that was a Joe Judge hire. But if you want to penalize him for it, that's fair. But the defense, even some players on the offense were put in positions to be able to really succeed. Leonard Williams had a career year. What's different? The coaching. He was on the same team last year. He didn't get a single sack for us. All these people stepped up. Kyler Fackrell was having a great year until he got hurt. James Bradbury has a career year. Logan Ryan, I don't know if you want to call this a career year, but he had a great year. Jabril Peppers, a career year. Daniel Jones progressed. And if you look at the games, he progressed. People want to look at the stats. People want to talk about this many touchdowns, this many blah, blah, blah. If you look at him game to game, Daniel Jones progressed. If you look at Wayne Gallman, he progressed. If you look at the offensive line, they progressed throughout the season. Joe Judge literally was the biggest part of that. He got that offensive line coach out of there. Colombo, who's, he's a good coach, but obviously it wasn't working out here. He was not a good fit for Andrew Thomas because as soon as Joe Judge stepped in and started coaching Andrew Thomas up, he starts to play better. Shane Lemieux gets in there. He's playing well. Matt Parris gets in there. He's playing well. This is because of coaching. So for you to tell me that this team who overachieved every single week, pretty much every single week they overachieved, because we should not have been in the game with the Buccaneers. We should not have been down to the wire against the Rams. We should not have beat the Seattle Seahawks with a backup quarterback. Those things should not happen. But it happens when you have great coaching. Now, am I saying that Joe Judge needs to be in the top 5 or even top 10? No. Do I think he's a top 10 coach at this point? I do. But it's not really about that. It's about what he's proved. But to rank him as 23rd out of 25 possible coaches is just plain disrespectful. It's plain disrespectful. Again, let's look at some more of these players, some more of these coaches. Matt Nagy is on his way out. Some Bears fans hate Matt Nagy. They want him fired. They want him fired. He's an offensive coach who couldn't get his offense to go. You got Ron Rivera, and I will give you Ron Rivera. He's doing a great job in Washington. He's doing a great job. He won the division last year. I'll give you that he can be ranked over him. But at 17, man, Kevin Stefanski is ranked entirely too low, too, at 16. Brian Flores is at 15. Mike Zimmer is... I just don't see how this list makes any sense. It seems just like you're putting people there who you know the best. And then let's look at the explanation for why Joe Judge is ranked so low. As I'm scrolling through here, it's way too much to have to scroll down this far. First off, one of the first things he brings up is that Nate Sudfeld is the reason that the Giants aren't in the playoffs and that Joe Judge shouldn't have commented on that. He answered a question from the media, from a reporter, saying that they asked him what he thought about that and would he ever consider doing that. Joe Judge said he would never consider doing that. And the first thing he started off before he even said anything was that the Giants need to take advantage of the games that they have, and they need to win the games that they need to win and never put their destiny in somebody's hands anyway. That's how he started that off, but they cut that part out and they just put the part where he was answering the question. He wasn't complaining. He didn't make any excuses. And that just, for some reason, gets cut out. And then it's labeled that Joe Judge is whining and he's the fake tough guy. And notice anytime you see any criticism of Joe Judge, they just say he took the Sudfeld thing too personally. He's too hard-nosed. The players won't stand for that. They go an entire season, and his hard-nosed attitude gets this team to overachieve, and all of a sudden, it was just a fluke. And this summary of why they ranked him this low, they said that 2020 might have been Joe Judge's ceiling. 6-10 is Joe Judge's ceiling when I've seen Ben McAdoo go 11-5 with the worst team. Sure. And then they say that, we haven't seen his floor yet. That's like me saying Mahomes, we haven't seen his floor yet. So he's going to be horrible this year because we haven't seen his floor yet. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. And it just is really stupid. I mean, I don't have a better word for it. It's stupid to sit down and write an article. And I mean, this is his job. He sat down and wrote all of this out. And, kudos to him because, he wrote all of these summaries out for each ranking. So, kudos to him for doing his job. But your opinion is horrible. Your opinion is horrible, and it's not based in facts. You didn't use facts. You didn't use statistics. You didn't use anything of any kind of standing to prove your point. All you did was say that you don't like him as a person, pretty much. Which we just shouldn't be able to do this. But Patrick Dougherty, you made a big mistake. As the writer of this article, you made a big mistake, and you will be held accountable. You will be held accountable because Giants fans will swoop back to this. And you guys let me know in the comments what you think about this ranking. I think it's hogwash. You should not be ranking him this low. It doesn't make it. If you made it this deep into the video, come on, just hit the subscribe button. I make Giants content primarily, draft content secondarily, and during the season, I'm going to be doing a lot of reacting to pretty much most of the NFL games and everything NFL. So if you made it this deep, go ahead and join the D6 squad.